on the vlog today, I'm welcoming Tina, who's also a knee replacement warrior. We're called the
Yes,
Warriors, aren't we, on
we are.
Facebook? So I thought it'd be nice just to ask Tina a few questions. So we've got another story to compare with my difficult story. So, so Tina, when did you have your knee replacement?
11th of December 2020.
Okay, so that's only a month before me, really. So we're at similar stages. And how would you say that your experience? Did you have it NHS or private?
NHS.
NHS. And what hospital did you have it done?
Orpington.
Oh, okay. Yeah, good. So that's not far from here as well. So how would you say your experience was? You had a spinal, didn't you?
Yeah.
Was it all good?
Yeah, spinal was really good because I've had a few before on different ops, and I must admit this one they did first go, so that was quite good.
Yeah.
And I knew it was numb, so that was the most important thing.
That's what I was worried about.
Yeah, and I decided I didn't want to go to sleep. I thought it's only an hour, I'll stay awake.
Mine was longer than an hour though. Do you think it was an hour or did it?
No, because it turned out complex, and I got
Yes.
fed up with them shoving me up and down the bed, and there was a gap in the bed hurting my shoulders. So I think either my heart rate or my blood pressure went up to 200. I don't know which,
Wow.
but they said, "Would you like to go to sleep?" And I said, "Yes, please." And the next thing I know, I was in recovery, and the surgeon came in, the lovely Mr. Mark Chatterton. He's a great man.
Okay.
And he shouted out to the staff there, 2 hours and 3 minutes complex. And then came over to me and said, "When did it get this bad?" And my response was, "It's always been this bad."
Yeah, so there. So it was worse than they expected.
Yeah, I
wasn't
think
it?
that the x-rays lied. He does tell
Yeah.
people that the x-rays do lie sometimes.
Yes.
So,
And it's worse. My surgeon actually said that mine was worse when he got in there, so I think that's quite common. And then, so how many days were you in hospital?
I ended up at 6 days. I was supposed to be 3. On day 3, I went to do the stairs, and they'd moved the physio room to just outside the ward. And as I got to the door of the physio room, I didn't feel very well. And I said to them, "I don't feel very well." And I went to sit in a wheelchair, and they said, "No, get to the bed." So I managed to sit on a bed, and they got me some water. And she just looked at me and said, "You're not doing the stairs today." So I said, "Okay." And then they put me back in a wheelchair, took me back, and I was laying flat in the bed. And the junior sister walked in, took one look at me and said, "You're not going home today, it's my call." I said, "Okay." And then the next day, my leg swelled up right from the top to the bottom. And then they were worried, did I have a blood clot? I was saying, "I haven't got a blood clot, I don't get blood clots." I know I'm big, but I don't get blood
Don't
clots.
get blood clot.
And it took 3 days to be taken to the PRU, which I thought was going to be for the Doppler scan. And it was actually an ultrasound, and that experience was horrendous because the radiologist who did it dragged my chair backwards like I was on a fun fair. The poor nurse couldn't keep up with him. He'd go, please slow down." Then had me sitting on the bed with my leg hanging down, and it was so painful. And he went right into my groin, all the way down. I was thinking, "Oh my God, I'm not going to last."
Yeah.
And then he went, "You're just full of fluid." And then he said to me, "You can get down now." So I said, "Well, put the bed down, please."
Yeah.
And I said, "Where's my crutches?" Because
Yeah.
and he pulled me outside the room, and the nurse said to him, "It's all right, I'll take it from here." And we went round to where transport was so he could book the transport. And he went to me, "I can't believe that." I went, "You can't believe it."
Yeah.
So, and I got back to the hospital, and they did say to me, it was nearly 5 o'clock, "Do you want to stay another night?" And I just said, "No, I want to go home, but I really now wish that I had stayed another night."
Oh, really? It's
Yeah.
scary. I found
Yeah.
that very scary. The day you come home, when you suddenly think, "Okay, where am I going to sit that's comfortable? You know, where's the nurses to give me my
Yeah.
drugs? Where's all the advice?" It's quite
Well,
quite
that's it.
daunting when you
And I
first
think
get
the worst
home.
thing for me is that my husband, being that he's a driving instructor, has got a little Corsa and didn't bring my SUV. So there was me then outside the hospital shouting and swearing at him. How am I going to get in this car? And I ended up going in sideways, putting my hands on the centre console, and I had to lift my body up,
to
and
get
then
the
he moved my leg in.
Yeah.
And he was going, "I'm sorry, dear, I'm sorry." That sort of set it off, like, you know.
Wow. Yeah.
But no, as you say, it's very scary when
Scary
you
when
get
you get
home.
home.
Especially doing stairs.
Yes.
I don't have a downstairs toilet.
Yeah, luckily I do.
Yeah, but luckily, from when I had my hip replacement, because they wouldn't take any of the stuff back, I kept it all in the shed. So there was a commode. So my husband brought the commode in because he realised there's no way I was going to get
up and
upstairs
down.
in time.
Yeah. Okay, so then obviously we're now both nearly a year
Mm-hmm.
after, but you did have an MUA, you needed
Yeah.
an MUA, didn't you? So how many months after your leg replacement did you have that?
Oh,
Your knee replacement?
knee replacement, yeah, not my leg
Yeah.
replacement. Yeah,
Not the leg,
yeah,
sorry.
nice slim leg. It was, I think it's probably 4.5 months, something like that,
Okay.
because of COVID restrictions. They weren't operating.
To wait.
So that's why I had to wait so long.
So how many degrees could you bend before your MUA? Like what was that
It
like?
had gone back. It was 85 when I left hospital, and it
Yeah.
had gone up to 90, but it went back to 60.
Yes.
And the straight was 30 off.
Wow.
Straight, so.
So you were only
Yeah.
30 to 60.
Yeah.
And then you had the MUA
Mhm.
and you turned a corner.
Yeah,
helped you, didn't
it was tough. First 3 weeks, I didn't think I was making much progress, but the knee felt so much looser, the leg felt looser,
Yes.
and that was the positive. I was thinking, well, you know, and my surgeon had given me an exercise to straighten the leg laying in bed with the rolled up towel under it,
Yeah.
then straightening it into the bed and pushing down, and that helped. Plus going to my osteopath to sort of stretch the muscles.
Yeah.
And I went back. I've been back a couple of times, but my final one was, I think, the end of November
Okay.
last year.
Yeah.
And I saw the registrar who operated on me as well. And he was like so surprised when he said, "How are you doing?" And I just stuck my leg out straight, and he went, "Wow!" And then he saw the
That's an
bends, and
achievement.
and he
That
said,
is-
"Oh my gosh, you've got to where we
Yeah.
hoped you would." He
Yeah.
said. So I was really
Fantastic.
pleased, really pleased.
So what is that? Where are you now? So you're fully straight.
Yeah.
And how many?
120.
120.
Yeah.
Look
Yeah.
at that. So you're really pleased
Yes.
that you had the leg replacement. You think like any advice you'd give people out there is maybe well you say in your words.
I would say, don't forget, it is major surgery, and as someone described it, it's like a double amputation where they're cutting your bone out.
Yeah.
You will have good days and bad days. The
Yeah.
first few weeks are really, really rough because you're getting used to your new knee, it's all swollen, and you're on a lot of pain relief, and
Yes.
sometimes the pain relief doesn't work.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, talk to your GP.
Yeah.
Don't live with the pain.
Yes.
And
Good
then
advice.
just do your exercises
Yeah.
and be religious doing them. Even if they hurt, just try and push that little bit more.
Yeah. Great advice. Thank you so much for your story, Tina.
That's great, thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching.